We are back on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk 1180, 1230 KGEO, and 1410 KERI. I want to read a quote from our guest, General Boykin. He said this at a conference in 2008 in Israel, and it just really caught my fancy. One day we're going to stand before the gates of heaven. Some of us want to be able to walk up there in a white robe, and we want to sing Abba, Father, and Amazing Grace, and we want to say to the Lord, I worshiped you. But I want you to think about this. Here's the way I want to enter the gates of heaven. I want to come skidding in there on all fours. I want to be sliding and slipping, and I want to hit the gates of heaven with a bang. And when I stand up and I stand before Christ, I want there to be blood on my knees and my elbows. I want to be covered with mud, and I want to be standing there with a ragged breastplate of righteousness and a spear in my hand, and I want to say, look at me, Jesus. I've been in the battle. I've been fighting for you. Ladies and gentlemen, put your armor on and get into the battle. God bless you. I thought that was the best ending I've ever heard to a speech, General. That was incredible. My hat's off to you.
Thank you. And the Lord just kind of gave that to me at a men's conference one day, and I have shared that with people from time to time.
That's a great ending. So this 5-phase plan that the FBI has, that we found, why aren't we doing anything about it?
I think there are multiple reasons. One reason is I think we're afraid of the Muslims. I think there's been enough terrorism that we are literally afraid of them. Secondly, I think that this administration is full of people who actually are facilitators for the Muslim Brotherhood. They've infiltrated not only the Democratic Party and not only the administration, but they've infiltrated the conservative movement as well. And there are people in the conservative movement now that have become advocates for the Muslim Brotherhood. So I think it's a combination of fear. I think it's a lack of understanding of what Islam really is and what they're trying to do in America. And I think that there are those that have literally been bought and paid for on both sides, both conservative and liberal, that are facilitating because there's money in it for them.
Well, I know that our Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, has her primary assistant is part of the Muslim Sisterhood. How deep are the Muslims in the White House?
Oh, well, it's deep. And you look at, it's not just in the White House itself. It's in the various elements of the executive branch. You look at the Department of Homeland Security, for example. Two of the senior people there in terms of policy are known to have associations with the Muslim Brotherhood. You look at the guy that was sent to represent America at the Organization of Islamic Conference, and he is known to have defended Hamas, which is a Muslim Brotherhood front group. And this infiltration within our executive branch in particular is far more extensive than most Americans are even aware.
Scary. Our guest, General Jerry Boykin, is going to be at Canyon Hills Assembly on July 2nd at 7:30. To find out more, please call 1-800-965-9324. That's 1-800-965-9324.
If you have ever been afraid of what's coming, if you've ever been afraid of Sharia law or the Caliphate, you best be at this meeting. Marty and I attended a meeting recently with John Goendafo. He's one of the assistants that wrote this book, and I'm telling you, I'm scared to death.
Yeah, it was scary.
And I don't know why women aren't more scared to death. Can you tell us what the requirements are for women under Sharia law, General?
Well, they're second-class citizens. You see just here on the streets of America how they're forced to dress. But under Sharia, a man is allowed to beat a woman, his wife. He's allowed to beat her. He's allowed to divorce her. In some sects, he is allowed to have a marriage of convenience for an hour or so, and you can figure out what that's for. A woman's testimony in court is half of that of a man. A woman gets only half of the property rights of a man. Under Islamic law, when there is a divorce, the father, generally speaking, the father gets the children. A woman is just chattel under Islam. I mean, she really is. She's just chattel. And I can't understand why women's groups have not come out strongly against what's happening with regards to Shariah in America, but they've been not just quiet about it. In some cases, they've been facilitating it.
What about education of Muslim women in the Muslim countries? Are they being educated?
Well, there are some Muslim countries where women get some level of education, but if you remember back to when we first went into Afghanistan, there were no schools for girls. You'll find the same thing in Pakistan. The girls are not educated, and that was one of the things that America actually did in both Iraq and Afghanistan. We began to establish co-educational schools, and so women are just second-rate. They don't have the rights of men, and they're brutalized. You know, a woman can be stoned for being outside of her home with a male that is not a member of her family, or for, you have these honor killings where you see it in the United States where a father or a brother or some male in the family will literally kill a female in that family for dishonoring the family by being seen with an infidel, or by, for any number of things that we would find just absolutely incredible, that because they were wearing Western clothes, they've disgraced the family, for example. And that's all part of Islamic law.
Incredible. We're having a conversation with retired three-star General Jerry Boykin, and he will be here in town on July 2nd at 7:30 at Canyon Hills Assembly. And the phone number to call for tickets is 1-800-965-9324.
Well, I thought that this was a religion of peace. From what you're describing, it doesn't sound like peace.
It's funny you say that, because this guy Mohammed Morsi that just won the election in Egypt, I don't know if you saw it, but Mohammed Morsi just made a proclamation that he will now, that the Muslim Brotherhood will be in full control in Egypt. He will now give the Christians their three choices.
Right.
Convert, leave the country, or pay the tax. Now, that's not a religion of peace. Islam is, in fact, a religion of war, and if you look at what Mossab Yusuf has just said, and Mossab, remember, was the son of Hamas, and he worked with the Israelis for a number of years, but he has now said that he is doing a documentary to demonstrate once and for all that Islam is not a religion of peace. It is, quite contrarily, it is a religion of war against infidels.
It's interesting you mentioned Egypt. That was the last question I had for you was on Egypt. The Muslim Brotherhood is not a peaceful organization, obviously, but yet the media is portraying it that way. Why is the media going along with this?
Well, the media supports Obama, too.
Well, that's true, too. But, I mean, they're going along with this facade that the Muslim Brotherhood is a peaceful organization. They're not. Somebody told me, and I haven't been able to confirm this, that they started firing off rockets, small rockets, in Israel the other day, just as part of their celebration.
Into Israel,
yeah. Listen, you got to go back and look at the history of the Muslim Brotherhood. First of all, it was created in 1928 because Kemal Ataturk destroyed the Ottoman Empire in 1924, and the Ottoman Empire was the great hope of Islam, that the caliphate, or the global superstate, would be established. And when Ataturk destroyed the Ottoman Empire, that was the end of the hope of the Islamic world. So the Muslim Brotherhood was created to recreate the Ottoman Empire and to reestablish Islam as the dominant religion across the world. And that they're not going to do that by evangelism. They're going to do that with the sword, and that is what they say in their own publications, is that their objective is to conquer the world. That's not a religion of peace.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination. General, I can't wait to hear you on July 2nd. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
He's a Marine. He's a little slow, General.
I know.
Well,
I know.
Well, and I have to tell you, it's refreshing to be insulted by a general. That's the first time I've ever had that happen. I've been insulted by a lot of privates before, but that's the first time I've ever been insulted by a general.
Although I've insulted you several times.
Well, that's true, but you were just you were First Louis, weren't you? You were First Louis. Well, okay.
Well, the truth hurts sometimes, guys. I don't mean it to be an insult. I was just kind of stating the fact there.
I think he's much better at this than I have. He's had 36 years of practice.
Well, come out, everybody, and hear the general. Call 800-965-9324. Order your tickets today.
Yes.
It's going to be crowded.
Yes, that's going to be 7:30, July 2nd at Canyon Hills. And please join us. There's a lot here, a lot of information here, and we've only scratched the surface in 22 minutes. And I highly recommend this book, too, Shariah, The Threat to America. That's I imagine there'll be some books on sale, too, at Canyon Hills that night. So, again, 1-800-965-9324. And General Boykin, thank you so much for being here, giving us the time, and we're looking forward to meeting you in person on the 2nd.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you there in Bakersfield. God bless you.
God bless you, General Boykin. We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180.